For such a long time, I felt like I wasn't truly living my own life. Everything felt passive, and I'd spend more time looking at other people's lives, thinking that they were so much more interesting than mine. Looking back now, I realised that I was a character on the sidelines of my own life, but things have really changed for me. It's me writing and telling this story rather than having it written for me. I'm the protagonist and the main character. I've heard the term main character and this whole concept of romanticizing your life being thrown around social media quite a lot, and in today's video I wanted to share my perspective on what I think it means to be the main character and why I think I've finally stepped into that role. It's not about aesthetics, it's about finding the beauty in your own life. So when I was young and I was reading Harry Potter, I really wanted to be like Hermione, but that's not being the main character, that's me trying to be somebody else. I also don't think that being the main character is visualizing your dream life or your dream self and trying to embody that, because the question that I have for you is, why is your current life not your dream life? So I actually didn't mean to start romanticizing my own life. I didn't actually know what that meant until fairly recently, but something that I have been striving for quite a while is just being more mindful and more present in the moment. And in that way, unintentionally, I've ended up romanticizing my own life. So for example, I notice things like the steam rising up from a cup of tea. Every single evening I look for the moon, and I also notice things like raindrops on the window. In short, I've basically learned to stop to smell the roses, and in that way I've noticed so much more beauty in day-to-day life. Even originally when I decided to make this video and I was writing out a plan for it, one of the things that I thought I would do was add clips of my own life with this really nice rosy filter to try and hone in on this message of romanticizing your own life. But then I realized that actually goes against what I believe romanticizing your life means, because it's not about adding a filter to your current life, it's about seeing your life for what it is. You don't actually need to make things look better or look perfect, you just have to open your eyes and really start to see. So I'm really known in my family for taking photos and videos all of the time, and that's not just limited to when I have a full face of makeup or I'm going to an event or a holiday. I actually do it all the time. So I take photos of my brother playing video games, I take photos of my friends whilst they're eating, and I also take photos of my partner while he's driving. And these are really simple things, and I know I probably drive them really mad.
Hi, Harry. I'm Colin Creevy.
But I know looking back that these are the treasures that I will want to remember. They may seem really mundane to you, but my life isn't for events and holidays alone. They're made up of every single day. You might think that your life is really boring right now, but imagine that you found your dad's university sweatshirt. You would probably hold on to that and really treasure it, but at the time your dad probably thought nothing of it. You don't really know what something today will mean tomorrow. Romanticizing your life is just about loving and getting lost in your current reality, whether that's going for walks with your dog or spending time with your family or friends, or even just those quiet moments in the morning. It's just about finding the beauty in everyday life. It's about being the character that you root for. Whenever we watch a movie or any TV show, we always end up rooting for the main character. We see them in a positive way and we really end up believing in them. And I really feel like we need to be able to apply that to our own lives and stop seeing ourselves in such a negative way. There's no point looking at a celebrity and cheering them on and being their biggest fan if you can't do that for yourself. So if I think of the main reason why I feel like I've stepped into the role of being the main character in my own life, it's because I really started to accept everything about me and who I am. So for example, I really started to accept my introverted qualities, and I also really started to embrace my more passionate side. So fun story, my brothers have always called me a dragon, and they say it in a way where they're trying to tease me, and it used to really upset me. But recently I've really started to see the magic in that, so much so that I actually have a dragon teddy bear sitting on my chair every day to remind me of the fact that yes, I am a dragon. Being a dragon to me means that I've got this fierce determination, that I really care about things, and I have a strong sense of will. And those are things that I not only embraced, but now I'm really proud of. So now when I'm watching a movie with my brother and there's a dragon and he points it out and is like, there's you, I'm like, hell yeah, that's me. I want to be that dragon.
Dracarys.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not like the best dragon.
I also think that we have to embrace that not all main characters look the same. I definitely have struggled with things like my height, being really flat-chested, and the fact that I have so much pigmentation on my face. But the thing about being a main character is that you're unique and that you stand out. I mean, when you think about yourself being born as a little baby, it's kind of incredible to think that all of these unique features came together in you against all odds. Scientists estimate that the probability of being born is 1 in 400 trillion. When you actually think about it, it's pretty incredible. Even little details hairstyles, like the way our nails look, are so different and so unique. And so when I think about being the main character, I really think it's about owning your uniqueness, whether that's your personality traits or your appearance or even your flaws. Even if you were trying to be the most perfect human in the world, there would always be somebody who would make you feel like you weren't. Perfectionism doesn't make you the main character. Being you makes you the main character. And I know that's really cheesy, but I am kind of cheesy. So moving on from that, I think a big part of being the main character is looking at your own life rather than looking at other people's lives. It's about creating our own stories rather than following other people's stories all the time. I feel like too often we look at other people and see what they have and what they're doing and think that's what we want as well. And sometimes you might look at other people and think that's genuinely what I want to do. So for example, I was watching YouTube for such a long time, admiring YouTubers and thinking that's amazing, I wish I could have what they have. But I could have what they had. I just had to start and do it myself. And finally I realized that and actually started my own YouTube channel. I took control and I put myself in the driver's seat and I made that a reality. So I no longer sit there looking at other YouTubers thinking that's what I want. And even with such a small channel, it doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, I'm still making YouTube videos, I'm still living that reality that I want to live. And so I feel so happy in doing that. Having said that, I also think it's really important to realize that sometimes we can look at what other people are doing and admire it without feeling like that's what we need to do or that's what we need to be. So for example, I really do admire people who wake up at 5 a.m. and train for a marathon. I think it's amazing. And to some degree, I wish I could do that, but it's not really what I want to do, so I never will. Just because we like things in other people, it doesn't mean that we need to do the same things or emulate it. You can admire your best friend without having to be just like her. When you think about it, even when we think about fictional characters, they're all so different. Everything that we admire in them is so different. You know, you can think of Harry Potter, you can think of Atticus Finch, Jon Snow, Bruce Wayne, or even Elle Woods. The only thing that they really have in common is they take action towards things they genuinely believe in and care about. And that's what we need to do as well. Feel everything. When I cry, I really cry. I sob my eyes out. When I love something or someone, my heart feels like it could explode. When I'm happy, I feel like I'm floating on a cloud and I can't stop smiling. Am I a drama queen? Probably, but I think this is part of what romanticizing life means to me. It's not that I'm trying to make my life look or feel like a movie, but I really want to feel all of the human emotions as much as I can, because whether there's highs or lows, they're still human emotions and they're still pretty incredible. No story in the world exists without challenges that need to be overcome and a spectrum of human emotions. When you think of Pixar movies, which are some of my favorite movies in the world, they're not just filled with happy-go-lucky moments, they're also filled with struggles and sadness. I think it's really the mix of emotions that can make stories so powerful and so beautiful, and that's why I'm really learning to embrace that in my own life. Owning your own life. So I think part of being the main character in your own life is realizing that you have the power and the control for every decision in your life. Every day when you wake up, you can choose who you want to be and what you want to do. You're responsible for your entire life. Now I know you're probably thinking, well, there's so much that's outside of my control. I can't help it if I get fired from my job or if it rains. And that's true, but something that you can control is how you respond. So let me give you an example. You're in so much traffic and you're going to be late for work. There's two ways to react to this situation. The first is that you get really worked up, very frustrated, very impatient, and really angry. You start banging your fists on the steering wheel, you start beeping, and you start swearing as loud as you can. Or situation two is you start cruising along the traffic really slowly, you increase the volume of the radio, start singing along and bopping your head, and you really end up enjoying that delay to work.
And I need you. And I miss you.
The same external situation has happened, but the two responses are completely different, and that's how the story gets told. We can all decide today to find things or appreciate things that make us feel most alive. You only have one life, so why would you not choose to love the life that you're living now? You get to write the story that you live by the choices that you make, the people that you love, the experiences that you want to have, and the passions that you choose to explore. And even if you are in a time of hardship and struggle, I think part of it is realizing that it is part of your story, but also realizing that as a protagonist, you will find your way, and that's the choice that you have to make. So ultimately, being the main character is about choosing what you want that to be. In today's video, I've shared my perspective on what I think being a main character is all about, but the beauty of it is we're all different, and so you might completely disagree, and that's great because we're all so unique. I'm not here to tell you how to live or who to be, you get to decide that. So stay intentional and go create some magic.